Hello students, this is Nirmala from Vivekananda Academy of Human Excellence. Today we are going to see class 10th history lesson number 2, nationalism in India. In introduction we will see the points which we are going to see. As we have seen, modern nationalism in Europe came to be associated with the formation of nation states. It also meant a change in people's understanding of who they were and what defined their identity and sense of belongings. New symbols and icons, new songs and ideas forged new links and redefined the boundaries of communities. In most countries, the making of this new national identity was a long process. Indian nationalism developed as a concept during the Indian independence movement fought against the colonial British Raj. In this chapter, students will get to know the story from the 1920s and study about the non-cooperation and civil disobedience movements. Students will also get to explore how Congress sought to develop the national movement, how different social groups participated in the movement, and how nationalism captured the imagination of people. We are going to cover the topics as India during World War I, the idea of Satyagraha, the Rowlatt Act, Rowlatt Satyagraha and Khilafat movement, why non-cooperation, withdrawal of non-cooperation, Simon Commission, Salt Dandi March, Gandhi-Arvind Pact, limits of civil disobedient movement, and the sense of collective belonging. Learning outcomes from this lesson will be, after reading this chapter, the students will be able to some cognitive domains, sensitize learners about rise of nationalism or national consciousness, analyze the nature of diverse social movements of the time, and get familiarized with the concept of our national identity in Bharat Mata. Affective domains are enhance the feeling of nationalism and patriotism, develop rational thinking, truth and equality among learners. Psychomotor domains will develop among the students are make a comparative chart of the nationalism in India and Indochina. The learning objectives of the lesson are, it will describe colonial domination and Indian resistance, focus on the First World War and its impact, describe the ideas of Satyagraha, examine the impact of Rowlatt Act and Jallianwala Bagh incident, explain women's role in India, explain common bonds and shared beliefs, what gave rise to collective belonging. First of all, now we'll see Mahatma Gandhi and the idea of Satyagraha. Mahatma Gandhi returned to India in 1915 from South Africa. Gandhiji's novel method of mass agitation is known as Satyagraha. Satyagraha emphasized truth. Satyagraha's meaning is emphasizing of truth or force of the truth. Satya means truth. Agraha means emphasize or to force. Gandhiji believed that if the cause is true, if the struggle is against injustice, then physical force was not necessary to fight the oppressor. A satyagrahi can win the battle through non-violence. People, including oppressors, had to be persuaded to see the truth. Truth was bound to ultimate triumph. So, Gandhiji has forced the people to just follow only truth and non-violence. In India, the first was at Champaran in 1916 to inspire plantation workers to struggle against oppressive plantation system. In 1917, Satyagraha at Kheda to support peasants. In 1918, Satyagraha at Ahmedabad among the cotton mill workers. Hind Swaraj, the famous book written by Mahatma Gandhi, which emphasized non cooperation to British rule in India. New economic situation created in India by the First World War. Manchester imports into India declined as the British mills were busy with war production to meet the needs of the army, paving the way for the Indian mills to supply for the huge home market. As the war prolonged, Indian factories were called upon to supply war needs. As a result, new factories were set up, new workers were employed, and everyone was made to work longer hours. Cotton production collapsed, and exports of cotton cloth from Britain fell dramatically after the war, as it was unable to modernize and compete with US, Germany, and Japan. Hence, within colonies like India, local industrialists gradually consolidated their position, capturing the home market. So, here these village artisans got the advantage of this thing that Britain was engaged in war works to provide the or to supply the material to the army, and this was the opportunity for Indian artisans, and they have taken its advantage. The Rowlatt Act of 1919, it gave the British government enormous power to repress political activities and allowed detention of political prisoners without trial for 2 years. Jallianwala Bagh incident on 13th April 1919, a crowd of villagers who had come to attend a Baisakhi fair gathered in the enclosed ground of Jallianwala Bagh. Being from outside the city, many were not aware of the martial law that had been imposed as a repressive measure. General Dyer, with his British troops, entered the park and closed the only exit point without giving any warning to the assembled people, and ordered the troops to fire at the crowds, killing hundreds. This incident has happened all of a sudden without information to the people. People were not aware about martial law also, that not to gather on the road or anywhere. So that law has been made. They did not know, and they gathered for celebration of Baisakhi. But all of a sudden, General Dyer came with the troop, and he has announced the open fire on the unarmed people. This brutal act of General Dyer provoked unparalleled indignation. As the news of Jallianwala Bagh spread, crowds took to the streets in many North Indian towns. There were hartals, clashes, and attacks on government buildings. After that, next point comes, that is non-cooperation program. It was adopted at Nagpur in December 1920. The effects of the non-cooperation movement on economy of India are: foreign goods were boycotted, liquor shops were picketed, and foreign cloth was burnt. People were not now ready to use foreign clothes and they have boycotted all the foreign material. The import of foreign cloth halved between 1921 to 22. Halved means it has become 50% only, which previously import was there. Its value dropped from rupees 102 crore to 57 crore. Many merchants and traders refused to trade in foreign goods or finance foreign trade. People began discarding imported clothes and wearing Indian ones. The production of Indian textile mills and handlooms went up. Use of khadi was popularized. So here use of khadi has been increased, means local production got the more value this time. Non-cooperation movement in the countryside also had started. In Awadh, the peasants movement led by Baba Ramchandra was against talukdars and landlords who demanded extremely high rents and a variety of other seizures from the peasants. Peasants were forced to work in landlords' farms without any payment, or as a beggar they started to work. Peasants had no security of tenure, but thus being regularly evicted so that they could acquire no right over the leased land. Whether they work continuously on the same land, they will not get any right on the land, not the right on the crop also. The demands of the peasants were reduction of revenue, abolition of beggar, and social boycott of oppressive landlords. These were small demands the peasants had, that revenues, taxes should be reduced, then beggar system should abolish, and social boycott of oppressive landlords should stop. In the Kudem hills of Andhra Pradesh, a militant guerrilla movement spread in the early 1920s against the closure of forest areas by the colonial government, preventing people from entering the forest to graze their cattle or to cattle, fuel, wood, and fruits. They felt that their traditional rights were being denied. For plantation workers in Assam, freedom meant the right to move freely in and out of the confined space in which they were enclosed. It meant retaining a link with the village from which they had come. Under the Inland Immigration Act of 1859, plantation workers were not permitted to leave tea gardens without permission. Once they went there on the tea garden, they were not allowed to go out of the plantation. In fact, the permission was hardly granted. When they heard of the non cooperation movement, thousands of workers the, denied the authorities and left for their homes. showing down of non-cooperation movement in cities. Khadi cloth was more expensive than milk cloth and poor people could not afford to buy it. It was easy to purchase the milk cloth because it was cheap in price. Cloth was very much expensive, so it was not in the reach of poor people. As a result, they could not boycott milk cloth for too long. Whether these movements were going on, rich people have boycotted all the foreign material, foreign clothes, but for the poor people it was problematic. They could not buy khadi, and that's why they have not boycotted milk cloth. Alternative Indian institutions were not there which could be used in place of British ones. Whether students have left their colleges, schools, teachers, lawyers have left their jobs, but they did not have any alternatives. After a few days, they understood that their daily routine or their basic needs were not going fulfilled when once they have left the jobs, and due to that again they have uh, joined their previous schools, colleges and jobs. These were slow to come up. So students and teachers began trickling back to government schools, and lawyers joined back work in government courts. All have gone to their previous jobs, which government schools were there, government colleges. Doctors, lawyers, they also have gone to their previous work. In this way, we have seen non-cooperation movement, how it has slowed down. We will see next lesson, next part of the lesson in part 2.